Transforming the workplace has been a major undertaking for the PSA for the last couple of years since last Congress. The reason why that is because if we don't transform the workplaces we work in, we're not going to be able to deliver on our byline, which is for a better working life. And we'd better get active, and we just can't wait for it to happen. We've got to purposefully and forcefully advance a strategy that will really improve the lives of members. And to do that, we need to transform fundamentally the way workplaces are managed, operated and approached. One of the fundamental problems we've got is that work, for those people in authority, for political elites, for business elites, is seen as some kind of economic transaction. Labour is simply an economic transaction where we exchange our labour and they compensate us for it. For a union, we have a very different attitude to work. We see work in a fundamentally different way. Work is far more than a simple economic transaction. Work is natural. Work is a natural, fundamental social process that humanity enjoys and must do, and has always been part of us and always will be part of us. It should be an experience where we derive our sense of self-worth, where we derive our sense of dignity, respect, self-esteem and value. It should be central to our identity and our relationships with other people around us. We spend something like a third of our lives at work. It should actually be a positive place where we reach our potential, where we get real meaning and satisfaction into what we do. We shouldn't have to leave our humanity at the door when we go to work and get treated like children. Under the economic rational model, none of that counts. Under our model, under our social thinking, under our experience of work, it's what really matters to us is our experience of work and how we can advance ourselves within that paradigm. Too many of you and too many of our members don't get the positives they should out of work. And we know when we do surveys of our members, and we've done some good surveys lately, our members feel really strongly about the work they do. All of you, and you all know it, every sector we cover, our members are deeply committed to the things they do, the difference they should be able to make and can make, and the purpose of the work that they do, but they feel a lot colder about the organisations they work for. And there shouldn't be a gap like that. It's because of the way we're managed and the approach that's taken to work in our workplaces. So we've thought to ourselves we need to broaden our agenda on work. It'd be too easy for us to slip into an economic rational attitude to work and say, hey, it's just about paying rations, it's how much we get compensated for our misery. We've got to get out of that sense and realise there's a lot more to be gained from a wider suite of objectives at work. So that's how we came to this idea, well, let's transform workplaces, let's have an agenda which is far more positive and actually builds our enjoyment and experience of work much more than just simply relying on the pay packet. Not that that's not very important, of course it is, but there's more to it. So we have worked up our agenda. We think people should be able to learn when they're at work, to develop themselves and reach their potential. We think people should be able to be themselves, have a personalised workplace where a lot of their own issues are addressed, good, strong EEO policies. We think people should be at work and be fair and secure in their work, instead of being worried about whether they're going to be laid off because they actually raise any questions or objections to the way they're being managed. And they should be treated fairly like other people at work. And of course, we think workplaces should be a high trust rather than a low trust model, a place where there's a fundamental change in the culture of work which is not top down, but actually is trusting and involves employees and our members being able to take responsibility for the issues they're working on and to create the solutions themselves without being constantly bossed around by people who micromanage. Those are old-style, low-productive, low-enjoyment ways of managing. There's far too much of it in the New Zealand workplace, and it seems to persist in the public service and the community service as much as ever, and it really has to change.